You're right, guys. Just gonna wait for people to start turning up a bit. Hopefully my mic's working and everything. I can see we got Tracy in the chat and we got Pam as well, right? So at least we got people watching. Them still glitching for some reason with YouTube because like it's telling me that there's 0 people watching. And then we got Nitro Max, Max M, Andy Pugh. Right, great to see. So it's working even though it's saying there's nobody there. We got Ellen, we got Jeff, got Staffs Woodsman Neil. Great to see you all. And Danny, great. Right, so it's working. What I need to do before I actually get into the show, yes, Creed Sexton, it's live, right? Before I get into the show is for 2 weeks now, I've been meaning to show a picture. And the first week I was waiting to hear back from somebody, and the second week I had technical issues. I had it all set up to show through my streaming software, and I had to reset it. If you watched, I had a stream and then I ended the stream and I had to restart it. And of course it got rid of my previous settings. But going back to when I did the giveaway, giving away the DeWalt tools, I gave away a router and a drill and driver kit kind of thing. Well, they both received the giveaway items, obviously. Obviously great responses. I was really pleased to be able to give those away. And it was great to see how many people entered and everything. But very kindly, Pete sent over a picture of when he received it, which was great to see. I think you'll agree. If I actually change the scene so you can see, this should hopefully work this time. It didn't work last time. That's it. Right, so there's Pete. He received it. It was great to see that he really enjoyed it as well. He liked the giveaway. And I'm sure he's going to be putting those to good use. So I'm really glad to see that they got to you okay, mate. And Chris got his as well. Didn't get any pictures from Chris, but it's brilliant to be able to do something like that. Got Jonathan out in the chat and Lee. You're right, guys. Great to see you all. Can't see me. Hopefully it should be working. Hopefully. Lost chat. I'm just gonna crack on this. You know YouTube, so bear with me. If you're not watching this live, I do apologise when I do keep stopping and glancing over, but I've actually got a second screen here where I monitor the chat and monitor my software to make sure it's all working okay. So I do try and keep it flowing as much as I can. I want to just mention, last week I was talking about how the auctions ended. Well, the t-shirts hadn't ended then. Well, they have ended now. The campaign for the t-shirts has ended. We ended up selling 20 t-shirts, which is brilliant, which raised $195, which of course is a fantastic amount, and that's going to the Birmingham Children's Hospital. Including in that was also a $10 donation as well, because like when you buy the shirt you can also donate. So it's really great to see that somebody actually went ahead and did that. Of course it's going to a fantastic cause, so really thank you so much to everybody who got involved, shared it round, brought shirts, brought jumpers, everything like that. It really does mean a lot. And of course that money is going to go to help the Children's Hospital, which is brilliant. Got Stephen out in the chat. And we got Al and Liam. Great to see you all. Right, let's get into the shout outs and today's highlights. First up, I want to apologise because I hadn't seen this video. It didn't show up in my sub box. I didn't get a notification. I haven't entered it yet neither, but it's a giveaway from John Clothier. Now it's ending tomorrow. It's ending on the 3rd. So if you're not watching this live and you're watching it on the 3rd, get in there quick. If you're watching after, I apologise. I should have got onto this a lot sooner. But he's giving away some intrinsic colours, which he uses a lot in his videos. If you've watched this channel before, he comes up with some great combinations and blending and stuff. I mentioned a vase that he did, I think, a few weeks back. It was fantastic to see, but he's got 2 separate sets. One that is actually the bottles made up in the colours already, and another set of the, the concentrations of the colours, so you can mix them to your own liking. And he was talking about some water-based, but then you could mix it with like an alcohol based or a solvent based, which is really interesting. It's because you've recently hit 1,000 subscribers, so huge congratulations, mate. If you haven't subscribed to his channel, there's a link down in the description to the giveaway video. Get entered in the giveaway, get subscribed, and of course click notifications, so when he does upload a video you'll get a pop-up. That's if YouTube actually decides to send you the pop-up, because it didn't work for me. We've got Tom out in the chat. I'm doing great, mate, thank you. We've got Claire. Great to see you all. Right, next up we've got a new channel to me. It seems as if she's been putting out content for quite a while, and I believe she really needs to get her subscribers up. She deserves a hell of a lot more, and it's Junie Genius. She posted in our Makers on YouTube Facebook group. If you're not in that group, get joined. Everybody's in there. It's a fantastic group, and we all just chime in with what we're up to, and people share the videos there and stuff like that. But she makes crazy robots, and that's really the best way to describe it. Reminds me a lot of Simone Goetz. So you've got in the related channels here, but often the robots don't work to plan. The one that I watched recently was a robot to help keep her warm in the cold, and it was meant to fold a blanket round her. Well, if you watch the video, the blanket doesn't end up anywhere near round her, but she's got such a great engineering mind, got a great sense of humour, great video editing, everything about it. It's a fantastic channel, so head over there, get subscribed if you're not already. Well worth checking out. This channel is going to be big, so get in there early. Of course, link is in the description. Next up, we got fellow podcast mate, and that's Jamie Page from JP Woodwork. Jamie's been on YouTube for, I think, probably the same length of time as me, but he'll be the first to admit he hasn't been putting content out all that regular. He's really active in the community, like commenting over on Facebook, all that stuff. He's like the main man. On YouTube, he didn't really put out that much stuff, but recently, if you're already subscribed to him, you'll see that he's been putting out a lot of videos. He's had 3 videos out basically in 1 week, which is great to see. One that I watched recently was his winged bowl, and he actually used the technique of burning the bowl on the outside to give it a darker effect, and it was just really well made. Obviously, brilliant video from Jamie, well worth checking out. Go and subscribe to him. He recently hit 1.5 thousand subscribers as well, which is fantastic. Great going there, mate. And of course, click to get notifications as always. Link is in the description. I'm going to show some more love to the podcast in the form of Alan, the woodworking junkie. Now, I want to mention this because if you've listened to any of the podcasts, you'll know just how much we all hate the scroll saw, apart from Jamie, of course. And as you can see here, Mr. Robinson himself is using a scroll saw, so we won't let him leave that one down, that's for sure. But it's a fantastic project video. What's it called? Because I've never actually seen this character, Bloodborne. It's probably going to give me some stick because I don't know what it is, to be honest with you, but the video is good. You don't have to know what it is to enjoy his content. He's really good at his video editing. It's like each project is like separate to the video in a way. The video is its own standalone entertainment piece, so you don't have to really be interested in what he's doing if you just enjoy the edit kind of thing. But as always, get subscribed, get notifications, all that good stuff. Go and give him a like, go and comment and everything like that. He's got a great channel. And no, he's not a real junkie, just a woodworking junkie. Al is informing me that it's a game. I was sure it was a game. It's got to have been a character from a game. Let's see if I can get a quick clip so I can show you what it's like when it's done. So that's it, like a silhouette. That's what's great with the scroll. So I mean, like you'll see Jamie's stuff. Like Jamie would do a tiger and it'd be really intricate. Or you can do something more like this that's still got some intricacy to it, but is a lot quicker and a lot simpler. Like rather than sitting and spending however many hours Jamie did on doing that. It's a console game. I'll have to check it out. Like I say, Alan isn't going to let me live this down now, I know. I did want to mention, I haven't been mentioning products and services for a few weeks now, but I had to recently renew my Amazon Prime membership, and it made me think it might be worth mentioning it again. If you haven't got Amazon Prime, it's a brilliant service. You'll find that a lot of us in the maker community will use Amazon as a quick go-to, because with the Prime delivery, half the stuff is here the next day. So if you're waiting for something and you aren't able to get it at your local shop or anything, just head on to Amazon and they've got it. They have constant deals, extra deals if you're a Prime member. You also get access to music and movies. I don't use the movies, I do use the music, which is good. I listen to that in my workshop, but it's mainly the deliveries, to be honest with you. I was going to tot up how much I would have spent last year if I was paying for each individual delivery, but I know that the Prime membership easily covered that, and I've saved a lot of money from doing it. There's a link in the description. The link is actually an affiliate code, so if you do buy anything through that link, I'll get a small kickback from it, which of course really helps the channel. And it's the same for if you sign up to Prime and stuff like that, so it's well worth checking out down below. Let's move on to some events, and we've got Makers Central. Got a few people in the chat saying they've got Amazon Prime. Stephen, Amazon slaves rule. You can't escape it. That's the trouble. They're too good at what they do. So I think that's all that can be really said. The Maker Central is going to be on the 5th and 6th of May. I'm definitely going to be there. Got my hotels booked, everything like that. It's going to be a great event. Can't wait to meet everybody there. The weekend before is Maker Fair UK. Now this time I can say that I have got my hotel booked, so I will definitely be there. I've got it all sorted, all booked. I don't know how I'm going to get around because it's like about a mile from where the actual event is because of the prices of the hotels. I'm soaring now. I can remember when I first looked, like a hotel right next to the event was about £80 for the night, and then when I looked a few days ago it's like reaching £200 a night, which is ridiculous. So, but anyway, I've got it sorted. I'm all booked up. It's going to be in Newcastle at the Centre for Life. It's going to be a great event. Al from Al's Hack Shack, who's out in the chat now, he's been organising a stall there for YouTubers and makers and stuff like that. So it's going to be great to be over there and meeting everybody, which is fantastic. So I can't wait for that. It's going to be the weekend before, like I say. It's on the 28th and the 29th of April. So it's that, and then the following weekend it's Makers Central. But all the information is down in the description down below, so I'll go and check those out. Now, I'm going to do this first because I've got something new. Right, let's do this. I just want to thank my Patreon supporters. I want to do this first because I know that this actually works. Before I do something, it might crash everything. So, a massive thank you to my Patreon supporters, as always, for your support. It really does mean a hell of a lot. Honestly, guys, I can't begin to thank you all enough. I am trying to sort something out as far as like rewards for donations kind of thing. I've kind of been dragging my heels on that a hell of a lot, but it should get there. It should be sorted. Really does go a long way to helping out everything I do on here, paying for materials and stuff like that. So thanks everyone who chooses to support me in that way. Now if I change this scene, I should go back to this. Right, I was trying to think of new segments, as I've been saying, and I'll have the Q&A coming up. So if you're in the chat live and you've got some questions you want to ask, then put them in the chat. I have got a question to tide me over to get started with, but before I get into the Q&A, I had a thought about doing a segment of fail of the week. Now I had a fail myself this week just gone, so I thought it was ideal to kick it off with what went wrong with mine, but I want to accept submissions. So if anything's happened to you that's been a fail, or you've seen anything happen, anything funny, pictures, videos, anything like that, get them sent over to me. There's links in the description. Ideally via email or Facebook would be the best way to get it to me, because that way, like through Facebook Messenger, I believe you can download videos and pictures quite easily, and it does can link to like online storage sites, and of course you can do the same with email with attachments and stuff like that. My email address is averagejoesjoinery@gmail.com. that's listed down below, and I'm on Facebook as Average Joe's Joinery as well. But let's see if this works. So this is this week's fail of the week. That isn't working. No. Right. If you're not watching live, turn off now, because I want to sort this. This would make fail of the week. What's gone on there? What's wrong there? How do I do that? It's not working. Play once. Rewind. Right, let me try it again. What? What's going on? My God. Why isn't it working? You know what? I'm determined for this to work. That should be working. Audio preview, default speed. That's working. That's working. I'm sorry watching live. Hopefully people have listened to me who are not watching live and have switched off by this time. I'm just going to open it the old fashioned way. It worked when I tested it not being live on here. It did work. So let me try and open this up. I'm gonna have to just like get access to the raw file itself and just show it through the screen capture, and hopefully you can hear. Where am I? All the best laid plans, eh? Right, open with
file.
Oops. Right. So I didn't want my little face down here, but you'll just have to bear with me. This should have played. Now please tell me in the chat if you hear the sound, because it should hear the sound. Ready? Now.
File of the week. That was your file of the week.
Well, was it a complete fail? You got sound? Yes, sound worked. I need to figure that out. Oh, thank you very much, Tracy. Typical, I've got it on the wrong way. Tracy has just very kindly donated $5. Thank you very much, Tracy. I did have it set up to be a notification for me, but of course it wasn't set up with that window I just tried. I'm gonna figure out this live streaming someday. I'm gonna have it sorted. I've got to. How do I do that? Right, that's closed. I'm mad about that though. I'm sorry guys, it should have worked. I should have literally just clicked a button and it should have just showed itself, like just started playing on its own, but that didn't go to plan. Thank you very much, Tracy. Honestly, I really appreciate that. Thank you. Right, I'm going to get into the Q&A now, because that was a big fail, and at least I can just read off a sheet instead. So if you are out in the chat still, send over some questions. And as always, if you've got a fail, get it sent to me. That will make fail of the week next week you watch. Hopefully, I'll have it figured out and sorted by next week at least. Right, so I had a question from Walter last week and he left me this in the comments. So if you're still watching and it's not live, thanks for putting up with that. But you can leave comments there as well and I'll cover them next week. But he actually asked, could you let me know why you got into woodworking, what inspired you, and when did you first realise this was what you wanted to do? Well, it could be a long answer, so I will keep it short. The main reason I got into woodworking was to try and keep my mind busy. As a few of you may know, I've got like health conditions. I won't go into all of that, but at the moment I'm currently unable to work due to my health conditions. So I had to have something to just basically keep my mind busy. It would either be sitting watching the telly or find something constructive to do. Well, I needed a computer desk for my bedroom, and the prices of them was ridiculous, so I made myself one. It turned out really good, so I carried on making, and that really spurred me on to just improve my workshop. At the time I was literally working outside using a handsaw, a jigsaw, and that was all I'd got. So then of course I built a shed, and then I was able to increase my tool collection and really get into it more often. And I realised it was something that I wanted to take more seriously. Literally, it was like organic. There wasn't an instant where it switched and it was like, yeah, I really want to do this. It was like most hobbies, I think. You start doing it, and the more and more you do, the more and more you realise you enjoy it, and you want to spend more of your time doing it. And like, more of the money that I do have goes on to making stuff than anything else. That I don't do anything else apart from this. I just make stuff in my time. I don't go out or anything like that. So this is all I literally do. So it's like, I'll see something, I'll see a tool, or I'll see a material, and I've got that urge to just turn it into something. So I'm sure people who are starting to get into the hobby, you'll quickly find out how easy it is to become addicted, because you don't look at the world the same again. You'll look at things and you'll always appreciate how everything has been made, and you'll look and you'll pick it apart, and there's no going back once you've started making something. I really believe that. Right, so we did get some questions out in the chat. We got one from Andy who's asking, how's the shed coming on? It's getting there. Today I managed to get the 3 frames done for the 3 doors, and I got one of the doors clad. I did have a bit of an issue when I was doing the cladding, because like I'm doing them vertical, and I managed to get all the way across, and it's like I didn't plan it ahead like most things, but it got spot on to the edge of the door. Like it was literally perfectly lined up with the edge of the door with that one border cladding. But of course I allow for a gap in the door frame so it can open easy. So there was like a 1/2 inch gap with no cladding that would now be a hole. So I had to just make the decision of putting a piece of cladding on top to act as like a lip. It should work out okay. You should see in the video that it will do the job. But it was just so maddening, like of all the places it could have fell. If it had fell a bit shorter, I would have been able to attach it to the door frame itself and it would have been all nice and flush. But you have to make do with what you got, I suppose. I believe that was it as far as questions. If there is anything out in the chat. Yeah, we got Nitromax, and that's a common workaround. That was really the only option I could come up with. I thought about ripping a thin piece down to add onto the frame again, but then it would just take up that gap that I needed to actually allow the door to open, obviously. So I think when I come to put the locks on and the hinges, I'll have to do some cut around, like to keep it all flush, but it should work out okay. Oh, sorry, I must have missed Pam's question. We got Pam from Highland Boxes out in the chat has asked what's the next project. Well, obviously I've got to get the shed finished, but then after that I'm going to be making a sign. I don't know if many of you watch Drama Alert. It's a YouTube channel that basically covers all the drama that's going on YouTube. I'm a fan of YouTube in itself. Like, I'll watch all kinds of YouTubers, not just makers. So I find it intriguing to see what's going on in the community and what new changes YouTube's doing and stuff like that. And of course, who doesn't like a bit of gossip and a bit of drama? Well, I tweeted him because he was coming to the UK. He's actually here now, and timing hasn't worked out great for me. But I said, like, ever want anything making, I'd love to show my appreciation, kind of thing. And he's like, yeah, I'd like a sign. So I'm going to be making a big Drama Alert sign for him and then sending it over to the States. So I'm looking forward to getting that done. It'll be MDF and painted, mainly because of the differing moisture and stuff, obviously flying and getting to America. I'm thinking solid wood would only cost a lot of money, but it would also warp and expand and contract, I believe, in the different humidity. So sticking with MDF and of course being painted. His logo's really colourful anyway, so I'll be able to get away with that even more. We've got Tracy asking, what is your favourite woodworking project to do? That's kind of... best way I could say it would be the next one. I'm very much the type of person that'll start a project, be really invested, really wanting to get it done, and then when I start getting towards the ending stage, I'm already thinking of the next one, and I'm not so much like I'm done, like my interest has gone in what I'm working on at that moment, and I want to get to the next one. So like working on the shed, all I'm thinking about is making the sign, and I know as soon as I start on the sign, I'll be thinking about the next one after that. I've got about 3 or 4 projects in mind that I want to do. I find myself doing quite a lot of hand routing, so like making signs and using milliput a lot for inlays and stuff like decorative work. I like doing things that are unique, which is very hard to manage because everything seems to have been done to death. But if I find an idea that seems unique, that's what I try and aim for. We got Claire asking, are you going to stain it a colour? I presume that's the shed. The shed will have a, like, we call it splosh. It's like, we'll just say we're going to splosh the shed, but it's, yeah, it's like a stain. That's the best way. It's a preserver. Like, I don't even know what brand I'm going to use yet, but like the 2 sheds that we got have been done orange, so it'll probably be done the same colour. I'll just leave that up to my mum and dad, whatever colour they want. Nitromax is asking about OSB preservatives. He's got an aviary to build. Now, I'm really not the best person to ask with something like that. That's what I try and get with my channel. I'm literally an average Joe. I don't really know what I'm doing. I just wing it as I go along. I wouldn't have a clue as the best preservative to use on OSB for outdoor stuff. I'm going to be using OSB for the roof and for the floor in the shed, but of course that'll be covered with felt and the floor will be inside anyway. So I'm sorry, but I can't really advise on that one. Lee has asked, when is the next video for the storage shed coming out? Well, I'm literally doing it as I go along. The weather has been holding me up a lot. I did start the doors a couple of days ago and then I had to stop because of the rain. Like I said, I got as far as the first door clad today. I want to get the doors on and then I need to edit the video and have it out. So hopefully this weekend it'll be out for getting the doors done, and then it's the roof, and that should be kind of the last video. Depending on how that video falls, I want to go into talking about how much it's cost and how it compares to buying a shed kit or getting somebody else to make it, for example. So there will be probably another couple of videos in that series. I wanted to break it down. I don't usually do series for projects, but I was thinking that a shed is a really simple project, but because of its size it intimidates a lot of people. Like they think, oh, I could never build a shed, but it's actually one of the most simple things you can do. So I was thinking by breaking it down into its separate parts, it'll make it more approachable for people. I know it's not great when they're being released here, there and everywhere, but hopefully when it's done as a series it should help people. Well, that's what I hope anyway. Yeah, I do. Tracy's saying I'm like her. I've got 4 projects going at the same time. I've always got multiples going on. We got Rob asking, will you be doing any projects with leather? I would like to use leather more. I've only ever used it in that cylinder plywood table for that little bit of balloon, and we got Claire to thank for that out in the chat from making it out of the wood. She sent me that bit of leather. I love watching the Red Smith's videos, how he does his leather work, especially the wallets that he makes and stuff like that. Them really well made, and it's really like it's inspiring to see. I'd love to be able to get some like proper rawhide leather and maybe do some like carving, how you can do stuff like that. And I've also seen Jimmy DeResta, how he'd soak it and then make wooden forms and clamp it, like when he's made bags and stuff like that. I think that would be really good to do. I should be able to get hold of some decent leather as well. Where I live, we've got like Willinghall, which is famous for its saddles and stuff, so should be able to find a saddle maker and get some nice bits of leather. Hopefully one day I will be able to do something like that. Right, I'm going to leave it there then, guys. Hopefully next week I will be able to get that fail of the week video working, because it's like, I don't know why, I can only test it so much without actually being live, so that's a big headache. I can click offline and it worked, and it worked perfectly, and it happened first time, and then of course, as you saw, for some reason it showed at the beginning and it didn't show anything else. So I'll try my best to get that sorted for next week. If I can't figure it out, I'll have to resort to the same as what I've done for this one and just literally play it through my video player. But thank you all for watching. Got 27 people watching according to YouTube. Thanks to everyone out in the chat. Honestly guys, it's great to see you there watching live. I do these videos every week. I aim to go live by 7:30. No, I aim to go live by 7. I've just looked at my clock. That's what's put me off. It's 7:30 now. I've been rambling for half an hour. I do apologise to everybody watching live. But that's it then, guys. Thank you all for watching. It's been great talking to you. Great asking you questions. If you want to submit a file, information's down below. Make sure you go and check out everybody in the links. Get all that good stuff. Get them subscribed and get them shared around and everything like that. So I'll say ta-ra a bit, guys. Thanks again. Great to see you all.